In this episode of The Excursion, I'll be challenged with golfing, tree climbing, kayaking, biking, and axe throwing adventures throughout the state parks of Georgia. And if I succeed, I'll enjoy a night of amenities in one of these sought-after lakeside yurts at High Falls State Park. But if I fail, it's the crew that gets this yurt excursion dessert. Let's get started. Imagine golfing here, biking here, going back in time with a man named Omer, and even saving a calf from a rushing river. We'll get to that later. From the crisp air atop Metro Atlanta's Monadnocks to a few of the inspirational high falls of Middle Georgia, Georgia's state parks are a wealth of beauty, extreme adventure, and exciting overnight options. Let's begin this excursion at Richard B. Russell State Park in its variety of excursion adventures within. This place has everything. You have the nature. We've seen deer. We saw the black squirrel.
It is. I mean, it's a fisherman's paradise. We hold the state record for striped bass.
Nice.
At 63 pounds.
What?
You know, we got kayaking, disc golf, beach, picnic shelters, group shelters for reunions. I mean, you name it, we can accommodate you.
A lot of people come here for the golf. The golf course is beautiful. You're going to be setting me up with Barry, the golf pro here.
That's right. You know, he's been here a couple of years now, doing a great job. Arrowhead Point's our flagship operation for golf.
And I heard there's a spot they call the Arrowhead Point.
That's right. The view from above is breathtaking. The golf is breathtaking. Yeah, that's what they rave about. You know, they could probably shoot high 100s. They're going to be happy on that part of the golf course.
You have the classic golf. You also have disc golf. You're going to come out and play a little disc golf with me.
Yeah, it's disc golf. I call it golf for beggars. It's folks get frustrated at ball golf. You know what? You throw frisbee, same concepts. You got frisbee in a basket, and it's very fun for a family. You can get all ages out there to do it. Yes,
this disc golf course is a gem. The design is more of an open fairway compared to some others you'll find. A little more forgiving than the woods course we take on later in this episode. Ranger Clint Rouse brought his discs, and I brought mine. And after a little disc golf, on to the park's primo attraction, the treasured Arrowhead Point Golf Course, where I met Barry the golf pro, who helped me explore the course on this perfect Peach State afternoon. It is nature, and then you see beauty on the golf course. Luscious green fairways. This is great.
We don't have houses on the course. We don't have houses on the park. I think it's 6 or 8 miles before you're going to see any house.
Yeah.
So when you turn into this park, you get nothing but trees, lake, birds that you hear chirping in the background, and one nice championship golf course out here in the middle of it.
Talk about a few of the favorite holes that we're going to be seeing today.
Customer favorites, the first one's going to be number 5, which we're on right now. It's probably our best par 5. It's a double dogleg par 5 that you can get there in 2, but you have to hit 2 perfect shots. Number 14 and number 15, that's right out on the point. So we have basically the Arrowhead Point of our golf course. It goes right out in the middle of the lake. As far as backdrop goes, it's the most scenic golf hole we have out here.
And yes, Barry knew about the excursion and knew a challenge was in order before the crew and I headed home.
Well, we set the challenge up for you. We're going to try to get to the par 5 and 2 today. Like I said, that's something that very few people do out here. I moved you up a tee box. I feel confident in you.
All right, let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice, Barry. Too strong? Whoa, ball. Get there, ball. Get there, ball. Oh.
Crowd pleasing bogey.
Woo! Barry, that was a blast.
I had a good time. I hit a few good shots, embarrassed myself a little bit. We're all good. I ended with a birdie.
You ended with a birdie.
So.
Right, and I sunk a couple putts, which is why I'm holding my beloved putter.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
You know, I didn't get the distance I was wanting on that par 5 challenge.
Right.
But overall, being on that water, you're right.
That 9 is one of those 9s I tell people, you don't even have to play well to enjoy that 9. You just get out past 11 when you get on the lake, and you can just enjoy the scenery. Don't see any houses, don't hear any airplanes, kind of that backwoods, down home Georgia feel. And that's one of the things that we like to portray when we come out to the state parks.
And right behind us is a clubhouse with cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers and bacon. Everything's home cooked here. Another thing that you get down in the South is everything's home cooked. So whatever you're gonna eat in here, you're gonna enjoy.
Challenge complete. That was a blast.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah. Hey, you made it in 2 almost, right?
Almost.
Pretty darn close.
Kind of short.
That's got to count for something.
Yes, sir.
All right, cheeseburgers it is. So berry shine today. But for now, time to redeem myself in Winder, Georgia. Welcome to Fort Yargo.
About halfway between Athens and Atlanta, so we're convenient for both sides of Georgia, east and west. We get mountain bikers, disc golfers, a bunch of paddleboat riders. Our beach stays busy every weekend through the summer and sometimes into the week. Our yurts, they are kind of like glamping. It's like tent camping, so you've got your campfire cooking and you're using our comfort stations, but we provide all the furniture and shelter you need. So you get a little ceiling fan, little break from the bugs. They sleep up to 6 people, bring your own sleeping bags, and have a great time, really. 3 of our yurts you can actually cast off the back porch and fish in the morning. There's somebody doing that every day.
Fort Yargo is indeed one of Georgia's most popular state parks, and for good reason. Endless water activities from fishing and swimming to kayaks and canoes. A disc golf course in the woods that offers a whole mess of challenges that Ranger Carol and I navigated, to the over 20 miles of hiking and biking trails, which we'll get into in a moment. First, it was time to meet Omer and learn all about the park's namesake.
We are a group that's dedicated to restoring the old fort and rebuilding what used to be here. It was built in 1792 by the Humphrey brothers. It was built as a part of a string of forts. Each fort one day's run from the other on foot, so if one fort got into trouble, a person could run on foot to the next one and be back by morning.
How far is this?
About 20 miles.
That's quite a person.
Yeah, well, they were a little healthier than we are.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is civilian, this is not military.
Okay.
If it was military, it'd be built very differently. This isn't really defensible. This would have been more of a trading post and a home.
And people can come kind of see a demonstration of what's going on.
Absolutely. We have cooks. We have a couple of 18th century woodworkers. I'm one of those. We have blacksmiths, candle makers. We have the best baker in the state of Georgia that uses our beehive oven over here. And this is one of the last surviving forts of its age.
When we return, it's Omer, me, and a couple of old school axes for Excursion Challenge number 2. Taking on the stunning, well-manicured waterside fairways of Arrowhead Point, we continue our living history lesson at Fort Yargo with the man known as Omer and his airborne axes. You and I are in the blockhouse here.
Mm-hmm.
We see the Cherokee coming. All we have are tomahawks to defend ourselves.
Well, we have rifles.
We have rifles,
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's say we only had tomahawks. Would you be able to teach me a little about
Oh, absolutely. I can
defense?
teach you to throw one.
Okay.
These are English-style tomahawks.
All right.
They make one complete turn in the air for every 6 paces. When you throw, you want to step out with your opposing foot.
Okay. You're left-handed.
Correct.
Okay.
You want to come straight back, keep the blade pointed forward. You don't want to tilt your arm to the left or the right.
Okay.
You want to throw it just like a baseball. As you come straight down, as it gets parallel to the ground,
Yeah.
just let it slip out of your hand.
Beautiful. Yes! There you go, Omer. 3 for 3, look at that. All right.
I practiced a little more than you.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and get 3 for 3 on this one, all right, Omer?
All right.
Okay, at the next one we'll do that 3 for 3 thing. 3 thing. That's where we're gonna put the camera. Hey, there we go. All right.
It's easy.
All right. Oh, that was pretty cool.
And it's fun.
Here we go. Feeling confident after a successful axe challenge, Ranger Carol had a biking challenge in mind that would test my guts. And here we are, The bike trails.
That's it, one of the highlights.
We'll talk about this big dip in a minute, but talk about all the great bike trails and why people flock to this place.
We have a wonderful Yargo trail crew that maintains our 12.9 mile bike loop. We also have a yellow loop, 7 miles.
Fantastic. So the 7 mile, that is trail runners, that is bikers.
Yeah, hikers and bikers, more beginner. The blue trail has been built up, so you've got more jumps. You have this horseshoe drop, which you're about to meet in a minute. Just different challenges for more medium to advanced mountain bikers.
This is the horseshoe drop.
Yes.
And some challenges I get to, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be cool. And this one, this is a challenge.
Right. Well, we've got you a helmet. A lot of people even won't ride the whole trail. They'll just come and you'll see cars parked and they're just up and down on this half pipe.
That's cool.
So you can do it.
All right.
I've seen little kids doing it. You can do it.
Little kids do it. I mean, crew could do it. I could do it. Yeah, you're not dumb enough to do this. She says bikers do it all the time. But to me, the physics of it didn't appear so biker friendly. But known to give in to peer pressure, the words, "everybody does it," got the best of me, and away I went. Woo!
So close!
Yeah! And once you do it, oh baby, yeah! I'll take it. You have to do it again. Yeah!
And you're so close.
I know. And again.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah!
Did it! Count it!
Until you finally conquer the horseshoe drop, realizing the true adrenaline-pumping reason why everybody does it. You gotta be willing to dare a little bit. That's what you're pushing me
That's
to do today.
a little bit of a challenge, but challenge by choice, of course.
There you go, there you go.
See, now you've done it. You've made it official.
I survived horseshoe drop at Fort Yargo State Park.
Yep.
Yes, I did.
Traveling from north of the city south along the Chattahoochee to the Big Bend in the river just west of Noonan, Georgia. Welcome to the surprisingly remote river wilderness of Chattahoochee Bend State Park, one of Georgia's largest. This place is 50 miles from Atlanta.
Yes.
And we are in a different part of the Chattahoochee River.
You get here and it's like you're in complete isolation. You know, everything's calm, tranquil. It feels like you're really in the wilderness here because there's not a big city right next door. I love the river. I love all of the camping. I've worked at several parks and this has got the most wide variety of camping now.
This park has 12 miles of trails for day hikers, overnight cabins, both tent and camper sites, but it's the 5 miles of protected river shoreline that got us on the trail to the river.
It's actually a 5.5 mile hike to the platforms where we are now.
Okay.
It's pack in, pack out. There's no power, there's no water. So you're really getting like that full primitive camping experience.
When they hike down, there can be kayaks here. Talk about the kayak experience.
The hike and paddle program, we start at the day use area where you'd park your car and they complete the hike, but when you get here, the boats are already here, so you don't have to worry about carrying them or anything like that. Do the 5.5 mile hike, you stay here, eat lunch. The great thing is you don't have to be an experienced paddler at all.
Okay.
You can have no experience whatsoever. They'll give you a lesson on how to do everything, life jackets, paddles. The instructor leads you down the river. Depending on the water flow, I mean, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hour paddle.
Gorgeous remote scenery along this float. There's usually literally nothing but you, the river, and the wildlife along this pleasant journey. Ranger Fangmeyer didn't have a specific challenge in mind, so we initially were just there to relax. But in the faint distance down the river, we heard a cry for help, or at least a moo. So the excursion team jumped into gear and braved the slippery, muddy banks of the Chattahoochee to at least try and save this calf. And when I say slippery, that was an understatement. We worked together at first, but when we almost reached the top, the calf gave up hope, sliding us both back down towards the rushing river. That's when the handy Ranger Fangmeyer found a rope. So cameraman Wes climbed the bank without the cow and threw me the rope from above. So I tied the calf behind the front legs as Wes and I worked together so this brave bovine would live another day.
We did it!
Though sloppy and satisfied, another excursion challenge complete. Golfing, axe throwing,
There you go.
braving the horseshoe drop, and saving animals from certain death. Just your average excursion adventure. So from the low rivers to the peaks of Metro Atlanta, welcome to Panola Mountain State Park. This is right outside of Atlanta. There's a lot of things to do here.
There is, yep. We have 2 fishing lakes, kayaking, paddleboarding, day use area, picnic shelters, playgrounds, so lots of fun things to do here.
Tell me about the guided hike.
It's about 3.5 miles a round trip. So we start at our nature center, and then we come out here, walk around the mountain, see the different views, talk about the rare ecology and what the ecosystem is like on a rock outcrop.
And we are on a monadnock.
Correct.
Tell me about this.
So monadnock essentially is a mountain made of stone. So it's different from just a regular mountain where you have that slope that kind of goes up and elevates. Where essentially it looks just like someone placed a big stone rock on the ground.
Ranger Taylor also showed me the amazing rare plant life that lives on these rocky peaks. You can't touch, but you are welcome to throw on a little water and watch some Mother Nature magic occur. From the monadnock top to the treetops, I joined this group of fellow adventurers who are about to embark on one of Panola's monthly tree climbing courses. Brian, this is Samantha. Tell me about Samantha behind us.
Samantha is a willow oak. The tree itself tops out about 90 feet. I have 13 trees to climb that are arbor certified, that we've checked them out and tested them. We got everything from, 20 feet to 64 feet to play in. If you guys remember, this is a friction knot. It goes up, allows you to hang, swing on the branches, walk around, take a nap, do all kinds of fun stuff. But it also goes down, and down is very bad.
This is a climb at your own pace adventure, and it was enjoyable, but exhausting.
It's all legs. If you do this right, you can actually do it without your hands. Your hands are there to move the knot. It's all the legs. If you can get that, lean forward and get those feet underneath your butt when you stand up, that's all it takes. We like to start with the basics, but if you want a challenge, I've got challenging trees, but they are a workout.
And once I became 100% comfortable with my safety, I was challenged to climb yet again and attempt an inverted descent.
There it is.
Fat hang.
Fat hang.
Woo!
You're just gonna squat down, bring your knees down, and once it breaks the friction loose, we're just gonna lower you down. All you have to do is keep your feet in there.
It doesn't feel quite right mentally, but yes, I did in fact feel like a superhero after this successful upside-down descent. Da-da-da!
Woo! Only rule is you gotta touch the ground. Kick out, kick out, kick out, kick out,
Kick out.
You got it.
Go, baby.
Now flip out to me and you're good to go. Nice.
That was a good time. From deep drops in low rivers to high peaks and high trees, it's now time to journey to the high falls of Jackson, Georgia, just north of Macon, at the breathtaking High Falls State Park. This is high. This is a dam falls, but this is not the High Falls. Tell me about the name.
That's right. So High Falls State Park is actually named for the falls that are located just downriver from here. This is the dam that was built late 1800s for a local community that was here. It was rather prosperous, but there's a lot more to High Falls than the falls here. We rent a lot of boats. We've got paddle boards, kayaks, canoes, aqua cycles. We've got a couple of annual fishing tournaments. We do crappie tournaments and bass tournaments. So our lake stays pretty busy.
Welcome to the largest cascading waterfall south of Atlanta. A spectacle to be experienced with the eyes and not the feet, no matter how tempting. You know, you see spots that look dry, look okay along the sides. As much as you want to climb it, you don't do it.
It does look dry in parts, but you'll notice there's algae all over. That's holding moisture from the mist of the falls, and it's a lot slicker than people think.
And I got plenty of challenges at the state park where I don't put my life at risk.
Right.
Boating, fishing, hiking, you name it, they've got it. Including stand-up paddleboards for rent that Ranger Steven and I got to take out on the 650-acre lake to catch a cool lake breeze on a warm summer afternoon. And like every excursion, this one comes with a sweet reward. 3 out of 4 excursion challenges met so far, and that bonus of saving a cow from the river may have put me over the top. However, Wes and I did agree that if I could catch a fish on a fly rod within 10 minutes right here at the dock, this debatable reward would become a reality for me, one of the park's 6 luxury yurts. The yurts,
Yes.
tell me about that.
Yes, so our yurts are very popular. They sleep about 6.
In the yurts, they have a lock on the door.
Each of our guests gets their key code. We change that after each checkout so that no one gets a duplicate number.
Yeah, I can feel safe, and the crew can't get into my yurt.
This
is wonderful. I got this nice pop-up tent for them. They're gonna love it, because y'all have great tent areas too, right?
That's right.
So poor Wes didn't do his research because High Falls State Park is an awesome fishing location. And within minutes, oh yeah, there we go. Fish on! And it's a monster. Look at that. Been out here, what, 5 minutes, Wes?
Yeah.
Got my yurt, you got your tent. Cooked some hot dogs for you too, buddy.
Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome. And we got power here. Got checkers, I can play alone. And nice place to eat here. I'm liking this. Wes and Craig, you're gonna love this. I got my yurt, sorry about that, but this is fantastic. Pop-up tent. All right, guys, enjoy.
There's a futon in the yurt.
Taking a little break after fishing. This is awesome. It's a double futon. I got double bunk beds. I guess the crew could have slept here, but I got it all to myself. I think I'm gonna fire up the hot dogs. I love High Falls. Going out on the stand-up paddleboard, caught a fish on the fly rod, and I got a yurt. I love it. What a great reward. You got a tent? So the tents are great here too. I just got to say that, but these yurts are spectacular. Here we go, guys. Cheers.
Thanks for coming out, guys.
Hey, cheers. So this is what camping should be like. A little luxury by the lake and a cascading waterfall creating that glorious background ambiance. Excursion complete. See you next time.